Welcome back, conspirators, to the Lucky Die in Kino. Previously, Ivoris changes his stripes and Greff gained an employee. Despite their plan of taking the night easy, a message from a mirror sees them liberating an assembly agent from Initiative hands without arousing suspicion. During the fight, however, Arawn was shot out of the air and fell to their death. Is this stranger worth the cost? Do they have the money to revive their fallen companion? And will Amira make good on her promise? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die in Kino.
The last we left off, two of you were by your fallen companion, and Arliss, in front of you, there is an Aarakocra holding two long swords. There is a Tabaxi-looking paladin there also, and they're both leaning over their fallen companion. There is a dead gnome clad in armor. There is a surrendered Tabaxi archer who was one of your guards sitting on top of the carriage. And there is an unconscious drow laying at the back who is your magic user. And a couple of dead guards. What do you three want to do?
Explain yourselves if you want to live.
You need to make...
So yes, for the audience who don't know what's going on, Travis has come in to play the drow that they've just rescued / kidnapped. PvP for Travis is turned on. We discussed this before. So whatever it is that Neil is about to do. What is Neil about to do?
Well, I got my spell slots back, but I didn't get my
yes, you did.
Fell suggestion back. And
you did not.
I think I tried to use it.
Yes, you did. Yes.
I'm the magic person. Yes. Specifically remember really wanting that to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it succeeded.
Was it the magic person? It was someone specific.
Yeah, it was someone, and it's either way, it's gone. So
yes. Ooh.
Are any of my guards still alive or awake or anything?
God, no.
All right, so
well, yes.
Two of your guards are still alive. One of them is sitting on top of the carriage itself. They've placed down their bow, and they clearly have surrendered. Their hands are in the air, and they're not making any moves, but there are tears streaming down their face, probably because their twin is dead at the front of the carriage. At the back of the carriage, there is a passed-out drow. They were actually traveling with you in the carriage. They jumped out, cast a bunch of very high-level magic spells, and was then knocked out. Those are your two living companions.
Which one was the one that actually killed Arawn?
The one who actually knocked him out of the air was the Tabaxi archer, the one that is sitting on top of the carriage.
The one that surrendered.
Yes.
Okay, but we do have one other that is alive.
One other is alive, but they are unconscious.
Okay.
Your note specifically said don't kill them all?
Yeah, well, the one that killed Arawn is dead for sure, though, right? We know this? Okay.
If you want to kill the Tabaxi that is surrendered, I won't stop you.
I just want to make the point that the magic user is like by far the most powerful one of them, and I don't want to leave that motherfucker alive.
The Tabaxi on top of the on top of the carriage can still see you all. They are still watching this go on with absolute horror in their face. Yeah.
All right. Does it take Ivoris a couple of seconds to answer the Drow's first inquiry, or is this meta-wise?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say Ivoris takes a couple seconds because
Okay.
the spell that I have isn't like super great.
Yeah.
Then I'm imagining the Drow like starts looking from like his alive guard to his unconscious guard, and Greff just quickly goes like, how does he phrase this? You're our prisoner now, so don't do anything fucking dumb. That's what you need to know. And he starts striding towards you with like 2 long swords in hand.
On whose behalf am I being captured? At least I should know this much.
Yeah, Greff just goes like, wouldn't you like to know? Tabaxi, get the fuck down here before I bring you down.
She very shakily gets off the top of the carriage. She pauses a moment by her brother, but kind of looks at the very angry-looking Aarakocra with 2 long swords and decides she's getting off the carriage. She goes to stand next to Arliss.
Are you allies of the princess?
I guess Greff like pauses at that and like looks up kind of in a thinking manner. And
then Ivoris shoots the tabaxi with Arawn's gun.
Okay. I was going to say at advantage because she has surrendered, but at disadvantage because you're using his gun, in which you're not proficient. So let's just do a straight dex roll. I think that will determine your use of this gun.
Shit.
I'll tell you, I'll click the button for the damage.
Well, I rolled an 8.
That's a steaming pile of no. The shot goes completely wide. Arliss, this kind of level of technology guns is not normal. You've seen a couple maybe in your entire life. This one's directly pointed in your immediate area. No, that doesn't do any damage. It goes completely wide, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I grab my ears in retaliation.
He is shaking and is kind of like clearly frustrated-ish. It looks like he's confused, but clearly not happy.
You don't need to kill anyone else.
I won't tell anyone, I promise. Please, just let us go.
Who are you after? Is it me?
can I knock them out?
Oh yeah, you can give it a shot.
That's a problem. I don't want to hit them with my weapon because I always feel the non-lethal thing sounds ridiculous. But I do love the idea of Greff just walking up to them, headbutting them.
For the sake of hilarity, sure.
I'll roll an attack as if with weapon to see if I get enough damage. Just a standard longsword. Here we go. Yeah, it's a crit.
Why is it at advantage?
Because...
Oh wait, she surrendered. Never mind. All right. How do you critically knock her out? I mean, this is crit damage on your crit longsword, which is basically you headbutting this tabaxi into unconsciousness.
Why don't you just kill her?
Because Greff has... he doesn't want to kill them right now?
We have one extra. We have an extra. We don't need this right now. We don't.
How do you...
Greff walk as he's striding towards the Drow. The Drow goes like, what was it? Did the princess send you?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm assuming the Greff goes something along the lines of like, the princess says her regards, and then just puts the tabaxi down.
She's going to be so stunned by this move that she's not going to remember your witty last line before you knock her out.
Damn it. Well, anyway, then Greff just kind of looks over like, yeah, it's the princess.
And what would her name be?
I feel like I shouldn't answer that. I'm always told I talk too much. So how about this? You take us on our word that we are kidnapping you, and until you feel the need to escape, you just, like, don't really try it. Because we'll cut you down, just like we did everybody else here.
If you promise to leave my associates alone and harm them no further, I glare at the tabaxi with the strange, loud boomstick. I will come with you willingly, for the time being.
You don't have a choice. Stop talking. Greff.
Yes.
What do we do? And Ivoris is kind of looking back and forth. He's not taking things very well. If there's any moment where Ivoris has clearly been in distress.
Now is the moment. All right. Greff kind of surveys the field and just goes like, it's the end of a battle. We collect our dead and we move on. So far, we've never had to before, but now we do. 1 second. And Greff's going to walk to the back to the mage.
Yeah.
Just ocular pat down real quick. Like, what am I looking at? A blue person?
You're looking at a drow. Their hair is blue. The skin has a bluish tinge to it. Their eyes are closed, but you think that they were probably bright blue at one point. They clearly have signs of magic upon them. There are various runes carved into their skin, some of which are still glowing. This is clearly a magic user of some sort.
All right. They don't seem to be Greff's gonna quickly pat them down for any arcane symbols or anything like that.
Oh yeah, you'd find an arcane symbol for sure. It's a tiny little crystal teardrop, and it has a magical rune carved into it, and the carving is filled with gold.
Oh.
It's not gold.
No, but it's way fancier than expected. Greff gonna grab that, shove it in his pocket, then he's just gonna lift the person a little bit by their hair and cut a little bit of it, and he ties it in a knot and puts it in a pocket.
Okay.
And then he starts walking back towards the drow. All right. Yes, Princess Boo sent us. Or Amira. And you're going to come with us, and we're going to help you finish whatever the fuck you wanted to do. And once that's done, she's going to pay us. She's going to help us find a person. So I would very much, very much appreciate if you played along for now, because this was... this went worse than we expected. A lot worse.
This could have all just been avoided if you'd have said that sooner. Or contacted me alone, perhaps, instead of ambushing me on a highway. Let's go.
Greff's gonna walk over and pick up Arawn.
It's pretty hefty.
Yes, he is.
As you lift him up, Arlo should become aware there's a lot of mechanical whirring and clinking. Yes, it's... this person has definitely been infused with some sort of technology, metal type stuff. Arawn isn't breathing. There's no pulse. There's nothing. He hangs limply from your arms as you guys go where? What is your plan?
Do you know where we're going?
We were told to help you. That's it.
Oh. Agency. This is something I haven't had in some time. Delightful. Well, you should lead us toward the coast, ideally. We have a very important place to be very, very quickly. You could say the fate of the world is in our hands, almost, as it were.
Who are you?
My name is Alice. I am the penitent sufferer. Surely you've heard of me.
I need you both to roll history checks.
I'm about to find out.
I hate it when you guys do this.
Oh, I rolled a 5.
20.
I was actually going to say you were going to be rolling with some sort of negative anyway, but you know nothing. You have never heard of this guy. 20. Yes, you have heard of Arlus the Penitent Sufferer. He is well known amongst the initiative members. He is very well known for hunting down and destroying various assembly members. He's very loyal to the initiative. There will be no loyaler initiative person than Arlus, by all accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Also a little bit religious.
Yeah, a little bit. If all the penitent sufferer stuff on him didn't give it away, he looks like a paladin of Ilmater at a quick glance.
Never heard of you. Come on.
We need to get ourselves very quickly to Freedom's Bluff.
Greff, a moment.
Yes, of course. Say his name again.
Arliss.
No, Greff too. Ivoris. I think that's way funnier. Say his name again.
Olis?
Olis.
No, all. A-U-L, all.
I just kind of like from a distance.
Yeah.
Okay. Allness.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Can you give us a minute, I guess?
One other, just for your minute. Also, there's a town called Yowley, if it's on the way, or the other way around. We also need to stop there. I'll give you your minute. Cover space.
Okay. But we need to pick up on this.
I'll look out, make sure that the drow doesn't wake up the wizard.
Iris is like shaking his head like, what the fuck? This guy.
Greff
trying to
walks
boss
aside
us around. Quit it. Go back to sleep.
So, you two have your minute.
Yeah.
Greff, Iris whispers in your ear who he is.
Oh no.
What would this person want with Princess Boo other than to kill him? Greff, perhaps we should keep them tied up, unconscious, something.
Princess Boo is the one who sent us here.
Right, but we don't know if they're friendly. We just know that we are catching a prisoner.
No, we were told to help them. That's our job. She told us to help.
Princess Boo, help the...
No. No. The message was, and Greff is gonna grab the piece of paper and... did you post it in the chat?
Do you want me to read you the note again?
Yeah, I guess.
Lover of mine, I have found the pale lady, but I need something from you. Help us and we help you. A good-looking drow in immaculate wood armor bears the iconography of the suffering god. He will be on the main road at midnight outside of Freedom's Bluff. Rescue him, but disguise this as a kidnapping. Number of guards unknown. Do not kill them all. Help the drow with their task, and then we will bring the pale lady you seek. Thanks, Sugar.
Yeah, Greff's gonna crumple the part that is lover of mine and think Sugar.
Oh, I've already seen it.
I know, but Greff's still trying to hide it. Help him with his task. Whatever he's trying to do, the guards did not want him to do, but Amira wants.
Iris looks over at you and kind of asks from a short distance away at you. We were asked to rescue you. Why were you needing rescued from the people you work for?
I have a mission. It's very important. It cannot be accomplished while I'm with the initiative. There are too many eyes, too many prying eyes, and this is a very important secret mission.
Is the mission for the initiative?
It's for the good of all.
I'm going to incite that just on base value.
Insight and deception, please. Yep.
Well, I got a 3.
Oh, no.
You are completely unsure.
It's those beautiful
You
blue
are
eyes.
so unsure.
Those yellow eyes. It's my beautiful yellow eyes.
Yeah, you get distracted by his beautiful yellow eyes.
Light wink thrown in there.
And his scar-free face. A solid 8 or a 9.
Yeah, Greff's gonna grab you back into the huddle.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, whatever he's doing most likely has something to do with all these weave of creations and all these gods and all that stuff.
That is the concern, Greff, but what are we gonna... Do we know if we can trust this person to be,
So far, the initiative, as far as we know, creates weaves of creation and kills gods. And so far, the assembly, as far as we know, gets people that create weaves of creations off Kino. So my feeling is whatever the assembly is doing is in general kind of just better. But let me put it like this. If things go badly, we can always just, just throw him off a cliff.
We don't know what he is doing. He is a prisoner and a loyal at the same time.
I don't think he was a prisoner. I think we killed his bodyguards.
Did we?
Can I overhear that part with a perception check, possibly? Because that's a really...
Sure.
Greff kind of like volumes up when he goes like that.
Yes, finally it works. So what did you get on your perception check?
I got a 9. Let's try and overhear that part.
It was actually a natural 1. If it has a red box around it, it's a natural 1.
Oh, then I hear jack shit.
But I would like to say
You officially hear jack shit.
I would like to say at the end of the conversation, Greff like tunes up like, and I think what we killed were just his bodyguards. And then he looks over at you.
Yeah. In that case, yes. You were a little bit preoccupied to pick it up initially, but yeah, you get it. You hear him.
Yes, you did kill my bodyguards, including some friends of mine.
Oh, hands go down when like when you say that, like,
Well, one friend of mine.
Sorry about that.
The mission is more important than any of us individually. We have work to do.
What is your mission? We're not doing anything else.
We can talk on the road instead of next to a pile of bodies.
The pile of bodies made this whole thing not worth it. So before we do anything else at all, I need to know what the fuck it is we're doing.
Fairly simple. Where do your loyalties lie?
Ivoris like lifts his thing and shows you his like Sabras thing.
Then you will certainly wish to prevent the death of other gods.
Certainly.
Then follow me.
That's the plan. Please enlighten me.
I don't think he's as loyal as you think he is.
I'm confused. Yeah.
Olaf, come over here.
You have to have another one of your powwows? Is this...
No, you need to come here.
Alice, not Olaf.
Alice. Come over here. Greff just like walks closer to you, holding the body of his friend, and just like leans in close and just goes like, "You're betraying the initiative, aren't you?"
I betray none. I work for a higher power.
And the higher power is asking you to do something that the initiative doesn't want you to do right now.
The initiative has me on certain tasks that would prevent me from accomplishing these goals.
Great. All right. So, Ivoris, if you please, let us get moving. Whatever this is, it is time sensitive.
Incredibly.
We need to get to the coast. And I swear to you, by all the gods that are left, if this idiot does something dumb, I'll cut his head off. Just say the word. No questions.
Ivoris looks like he's like calming down for the first time. And just kind of like looks at the ground.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to ask you guys to do this, but I will ask you now. He mentioned a town called Yoli. Mm-hmm. I need you both to roll history checks. For reasons I'm not going to elaborate upon. Arawn, no, he's gone. Ivoris, you roll at disadvantage, and Greff, you roll at advantage.
Oh.
I rolled an 8.
I rolled the 14.
On an 8, you have no familiarity with it at all. For Greff, on a 14, it is a familiar name. You've heard it once or twice, but probably way back in your childhood, like way, way back when.
Oh.
You can't place it exactly.
Okay. Greff is going to start walking like towards Freedom's Bluff, which is also towards the coast,
So Freedom's Bluff is the town on top of the cliff.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. No. Then we're
but
moving
you
away.
do have a dead companion to deal with.
I know. Greff's intention is to find place somewhere close by where we can put Arawn down for like the time being.
Okay. So you guys want to walk into town carrying a dead body?
No, he wanted to go to the coast. Am I misremembering?
Which is in
yes.
town. Kind of.
Yes. So you guys are on top of a cliff. That's where Freedom's Bluff is.
Mm-hmm.
So Freedom's Bluff goes for a very, very long expanse. It's a good couple of miles. The quickest way would literally just scale down the front of this. Or use those certain tunnels that you have discovered to get you down a good portion.
But the tunnels are like super time consuming.
Yes, it's super time consuming. It's that, or you're going to have to walk a long way around.
We could leave them at the temple, or... Well, it would probably be best not to try to carry a body down through that bar, but we should have let...
No, you're correct there. We're gonna head towards the first, like, kind of secret tunnel entrance to the underground, and basically stash Arawn there.
So the various entrances to the underground section of Freedom's Bluff that you know, the ones that are actually inside the cliff itself, you only know the entrances from within the town. So you still have to go into town with the corpse.
The teleporter is not like on the edge of town?
No, so the teleporter is definitely within the town. It's just on an edge of it.
Okay, in my brain it was no problem. Fuck, you don't have any spell or anything we can do about this?
Me? No, I this thing's a machine or a person?
No, he's a friend of ours. He's mostly machine at this point, but no.
No, I don't know of anything that could help, though I do know Lathander can resurrect.
Would you recognize him?
That's a good point.
Actually, yeah, I guess you could roll a history check. Yeah, there's a chance that you may know
7. Who
these are now that you're face to face with them. No, okay, you don't know.
I didn't really study history on people who are not in the initiative.
Yeah, no, like there would have been a chance that you could have known them from your day-to-day dealings with being in the initiative, or at least heard of them, but unfortunately not so much.
So who are you? While we're talking and chatting and you know who I am so clearly. I smile when I say this. Alice is super happy. Are they chipper?
I don't think Ivoris wants to let you know that we're with the initiative. I don't think he wants to do that. Greff, you certainly can. But
like Greff is waiting for you to speak up, and if you hesitate, he's just like, uh-oh. I am an acquaintance of God damn it, brain, come on. I'm an acquaintance of Amira. She's gonna do me a favor if I do her a favor.
If you're trying to save the gods from dying, why are you working for people who are trying to kill them?
You still haven't told me who you are. I smile. Dodging the question.
Ivoris flashes his badge, I guess. Because I'll fucking kill you anyways.
He flashes you a badge that denotes him as being a member of the Kino Initiative Task Force 10, which are basically a lot of little groups dedicated to doing random jobs and tasks for the initiative that are sometimes not strictly above board but have to be done.
You certainly would understand with this. The initiative isn't always perfect, and sometimes it needs assistance. You must understand this. Surely. One of your stature.
Isn't perfect. I have reason to believe they killed my god and are about to do it again. Aren't perfect.
Well, you wouldn't be too far unfounded, I suspect.
Ivoris, do you have a spell so we can get Arawn into the city?
A spell. We have a cart. We could put everyone in the cart and just go in the city like everything is fine. And flash badges if we need to.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's a fun idea.
Which deity do you worship? Now?
Savras, the one that died.
No, you said again, so who are you thinking now to worship now that Savras is gone? That was my question.
No, I'm not worshipping anyone else. I still have my things to do. I think.
A religious widower. Interesting.
Okay, so is the plan to pick up all these corpses, shove them in the carriage, and just ride home?
No. The plan is to hold Arawn to the town and...
Basically put them somewhere where no one's going to mess with them in, like, the town or outside the town, maybe not inside the town. You know.
We're going to let Tabaxi and Blue Hair take care of their dead. We're going to take care of Arawn.
Okay, so in theory, the three of you plus Arawn's body could easily go in the carriage. One of you taking control of the horses, but yeah, you could easily pass through the gates, especially with your badges. You don't think that'll be a problem? I mean,
easy.
Orlis is also pretty well known, so Orlis could just don't search the cart.
I've already been officially kidnapped. I couldn't do anything like that.
Oh, damn.
Point.
So yeah, you just have to hide his face. Other than that, you'd be good. Just hide two bodies in this carriage.
Do I know how to deal with carriages and horses? Like under non-strenuous circumstances.
Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to competently do this. Yeah, being your history, you could be able to competently do this.
All right. Yeah, Greff's just gonna gently put Arawn in the carriage and put Ivoris and Jesus Christ, say your name one more time.
Awless.
Awless.
Instead of I, just put an aw. Eyeless, awless.
As you, so what are you doing with the bodies?
Dragging them to the side of the road. Blue Hair can take care of her deads.
Okay, are you moving any of those, either the unconscious Tabaxi or the unconscious Blue Drow?
Just I don't know. No, I'm leaving them where I left where they fell.
Okay.
I'm assuming that this whole scenario is taking place in the matter of minutes.
Yeah.
We're not picking them up, going where should I put you, and putting them back down. No. It's yeah. We just basically shove the three of you in the back and just jump on the front, and I kick the two bodies off the front of the cart and ride away.
Okay.
We're gonna tie up the ones that are. Well, actually, they're friends with you. Fuck, this is stupid.
Well, you killed my one friend.
With fucking Princess Boob's bad information killed your friend.
Iris, let's not start
It is important for me to know whether you are tying these people up or whether you're just going to leave them unconscious.
The one that killed Arawn is getting tied up.
Okay, so you tie the Tabaxi up.
Yeah,
okay,
which is easy because
tie the Tabaxi.
She's unconscious.
She's unconscious.
So,
all right, so the Tabaxi is tied up, hog-tied. There's no way she's getting out of any of these knots without any sort of help. And you're just getting on the car, on the carriage and riding away, right?
Yes.
I have failed, in a sense, to mention to you that Iris's S's have been happening, and there might be a role that needs to be made to interpret that Iris is not a Tabaxi.
Yeah, you can either take actually, what's your passive perception?
12.
12. Okay, yeah, you can either take an investigation perception or only one of those two.
Perception A. I think I just rolled it. It came out at 11.
Yeah, you don't. There's something odd about this Tabaxi. You're not sure what it is. As you guys make your way back towards the town in the carriage that you guys have now stolen, the disguised selves wear off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit.
And maybe that's why you thought there was something odd with this Tabaxi paladin. As they transform into... Oh, God, where's your picture? What the fuck do you look like?
Another cat.
Sand coloured, right? It looks like a different kind of cat. Different colorations, different markings, but more importantly, he has an eye patch.
Yeah, he looks like a kind of tiger pattern, but the stripes got, if you got water on them and they weren't dry yet and they were ink and they blotched out. And he looks kind of more like a blotchy cobra snake pattern with the tiger colors than he does. Yeah. It looks like his fur is changed into snake patterns. And his tongue
he
kind of
has,
comes out. Every now.
Yeah, his tongue is a little odd, which may be ticking off your senses, but you can't quite place it.
It's like forked and snake-like and weird and inconvenient.
I conceal his chuckle as this happens, and the spell wears off. I'm just like,
you also notice as you kind of like look around, realizing that if one of them was disguised, perhaps the other one was too. Greff, the Aarakocra with dual longswords, is in fact a Goliath with dual longswords.
that's strangely unique.
There we go. This is what you note. Okay, Arliss, I'd like you to make one more perception check, please. And the only reason I'm letting you do this is because of the backstory you recorded.
13. But if it requires linguistics, I know a little bit more about certain linguistics.
Yes, that's why I wanted you to roll. That's the only reason I was letting you roll. On a 13, you notice that both their speech patterns are a little bit odd. Ivoris tends to overroll and hiss most of his S's, and Greff's accent is something not quite Goliath about it.
Do you travel much?
I'm imagining I'm at the front of the cart, so what is there, like a window, or is he like...
Of course, yeah. Let's say it's a little thing that he could speak to the driver should he wish, and he is wishing to speak to you.
You ask Greff if he travels much?
Yeah. He's the more talkative of the two.
Iris is being moody. Yeah. Iris doesn't know how to handle his emotions, guys.
Traveled very far. Yes.
Across large bodies of water, possibly.
Yeah, you had to cross. I had to cross the big water to get to the orcs.
Interesting. The orcs. Orcs. You were around?
Yeah, big green motherfuckers, big tusks, fight with two long swords.
Certainly. Would you happen to have been around them, say, during the death of a certain god?
No.
What?
No. Why are you asking that? That is a very specific question.
What do the orcs have to do with Severus?
My head, Alice's head switches back. He speaks. Huh. Well, more than you might know.
He does not like your
Talking.
sarcasm towards his silence.
Yeah, you just kind of hear shouted from the front of the cart from Greff, like, keep talking.
Once we've finished my mission, I can talk more freely. But right now, I'm not really sure I trust you with information, much less my life, which is in your capable hands. Oh, not bird person, and different cat person.
Fine.
With strange accents.
Yeah.
How did you come to be in the initiative? You don't seem local.
Amira? Is that her name?
Adnalov,
thank you.
Amira guy, stop. No.
Amira can't fuck you into everything, okay?
Amira's the tabaxi. Adnalov, fuck.
You didn't fuck the assembly to get into the initiative. Quit. Stop. You can't.
Yeah, Greff just goes back like, I've got into a bit of a scuffle, got into a bit of a debt. Adnalov basically got me out of it on the promise that I'd join the task force for a while.
And you're very much against the evil, vile enemies that we hold.
Yes, I can't stand those enemies. I'll be honest, dude. I'm in this for the money and the experience.
So you're not you don't really care about the assembly or the initiative.
Not really. I get that you need hands to do jobs for a country. I get that. And I don't mind being the hands, but what I've heard recently gave me no reason to want to be the hands anymore. It's dumb.
What if I could offer you something more tangible than experience or gold?
I'm listening.
What if I told you that the world as it stands, wheels are in motion where it will not be the same. It will actually come to be very different. A world without gods. A very sad world where the dead stay dead forever. Where there is no hope. Where darkness and death are the only constants. Well, undeath. Let's make it 3 constants. I smile. I'm not trying to move you toward that world. What if I'm saying that you could be one to prevent it from coming to pass? It doesn't offer experience or gold, but it's a good thing. And it's one where you can continue to do what you do, and if you enjoy your shallow existence, your one-dimensional being of gold for fights and hitting things, I can certainly respect that. And hey, I like hitting things too. But what I'm saying is, perhaps there could be more, and your services and skills could be used elsewhere with more efficiency and possibly for a cause that is worth fighting for, dare I say?
There's a good, solid pause.
I'm just still staring till he says anything.
That's fine.
Alice is quietly.
I like to imagine that the characters come to a bit of a halt.
It's definitely slowed down.
We'll talk on this further, I suppose, after we retrieve what I need.
I can't go back to Adnilov.
What do you mean?
I can't go back. I don't. He kind of gestures at Arawn and kind of looks back down, kind of defeated.
It's Ivoris. This is the price we pay for the jobs we do. We don't get paid as we do because we're talented. We do it because it's dangerous. He knew the risk.
Sure, Greff. I know. But I've lost 2 groups already.
Don't give in to despair, friend. There is suffering in this world, but I know when there's...
I think I'm losing my job. I think this is kind of small scale on the grand scheme of things. I just don't think I can go back and face Adnilov again. I don't think she'll understand anymore.
And you're going to make me tell her?
If you want your job, Greff, you can, but I don't know if I'm... they're not... We're already a person short, Greff. They're not going to give me any more people.
I'm asking if you're going to make me, your friend, tell Adnilov that Arawn is dead. At least be there with me.
Ivoris kind of looks at you like he's trying to understand what you're getting at. Like he didn't catch it at first.
I don't mind if you quit after this, if that's what you feel, but don't make me do this alone.
Ivoris kind of looks down. If you want me to tell her, fine.
No, I want you to be there. You don't have to say anything. You just need to be there.
Ivoris looks very judged. Not by you, but like he's anticipating being judged harshly.
We get to the city gates.
You do indeed. Hold up, sir. Hold up. Whoa. Slow your horses.
Yeah. Initiative business. And Greff gets out his little badge thing.
You see, like this old man with a very big cloak on, just like stumping his way towards you, leaning very heavily on one side. And he's like, "Hey, pass it down. Initiative, you say? Hang on, let me go and check your credentials. Hang on." And you see them like clump off back into the little guardhouse, and they come back, and they're wearing this little pair of half moon glasses on their eyes, and they're kind of like, "Initiative, one, grief,
Greff."
grief,
Greff!
nice grief."
No, I'm not the one with the dumb name. My name is Greff.
Pulls it up to his face, pulls it a bit closer to his eyes. "Oh yeah, 2 Fs. You're part of the initiative, are you?"
I'm part of Kino Initiative Task Force 10, yes.
What do you do for this task force?
Greff's gonna like lean down and grab the credentials from him and like,
Wait,
we both know I'm not supposed to tell you that.
Wouldn't you like to know, little man?
do it! All right, fine. What about the rest of your cargo? What about the rest of this in the carriage here? And you seem like hobbling along towards the back.
Initiative. Don't you fucking dare.
Initiative! And he knocks on the door.
Greff is off the cart. Like, once he knocks, like, what did you say he was?
I didn't.
What race is he?
He is a turtle.
Oh, goddamn fucking turtles. He's like 12 or something and he's already almost dead. Turtles have stupid lifespans.
I feel very judged.
You are.
You get back on your horse. All right. Put your head out. Who's in it? It's an official search.
I just...
Oh, Bean.
Bean?
Greff's gonna... The walkie-talkie thing that Arawn made hasn't broken yet.
It is not.
Greff touches the ear and just goes like, only Ivoris. And then just kind of goes like, there's one person back there and a VIP person that we're transporting. None of your business otherwise.
I hop out and I put my angry face on. My unamused, I don't have time. Why are you wasting my time? And
roll an
grab
intimidation
my
check.
badge and I just like flash it at them impatiently. 18.
VIP, you say? He looks at your thing and he pulls it up to his eye. See his arm shaking a little bit, looking up at you, looking at it. He seems to clearly know what you are.
Well, yeah, if I'm trying
Ivoris.
to intimidate somebody, he's just letting his tongue fly around. Yeah.
Yep. Ivoris. There you go, sir. I hope you have a pleasant evening. Should be raining later today, so you want to get yourself in a Freedom's Bluff, nice and warm. He didn't say his name was Ivoris. Bloody hell. You didn't see any Yancy on board. What the fuck? You could have warned me. As he's like wandering off. You see the gates open and they allow you to roll through. For Travis, Freedom's Bluff, if you think kind of very heavy voodoo south, that's the kind of very big vibe you get from this place.
Delightful.
All right. You guys are within the town. Unlike most of the nights that you guys have been here, no festival, no big parties going on, no dance-offs happening. So what do you want to do? It's about the other side. It's going to be well over the other side of midnight. So we're about 1, maybe 2 in the morning.
We need to be at the cliffs. Below, there's a watery entrance we need to find below the cliffs.
Yeah, you want to get to the old school?
We're looking for something very specific. But we need to get below the cliffs, through a watery entrance, below Freedom's Bluff. That is exactly what I know.
Greff is now doing a little bit of math in his head. Logistics. Can we
Water,
make the cart?
Cliff.
How many feet can I fall before I die? Is this cliff too tall?
Using the main roads, can Greff get real close to the church?
Yeah, you could get all the way to the church, like bar like, I don't know, 50, 60 feet, 100 feet maybe, in which case you would have to take Arawn off of the carriage. But yeah, you could almost get right up to the temple itself.
The intention is to get the cart as close to the temple as Greff can. Mm-hmm. Go get Arawn, take him inside, and like just kind of rudely get him to the priest.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can go through the city, not a problem. The streets themselves are pretty clear. There's not a lot of people out, same as the night before. Sorry, it was the night before. We haven't had a day since then. Some of the bars are beginning to kick out. It's the post parties that you guys were partially at, beginning to dissipate. But for the most part, the streets are fairly empty. You make your way up to the temple in your carriage. And you stop outside the temple. You pick up Arawn's body without a problem.
Yeah, Greff opens the cart and just goes like, Alice, stay here. And Greff, like, stay out of sight, and grabs Arawn and starts moving him towards the temple.
Gladly.
Ivoris, are you going with?
Yes.
You both go up to the temple. The doors aren't locked, but they are closed. With a gentle push, you find your way inside. There's only a few candles burning inside now. You can see that the priest, the cleric, is standing at the altar, performing some sort of late night ceremony. You can see that there is a vast quantity of blood in various cups. You can see that there are a lot of things like candles and incenses that he is currently blessing. He's clearly using the night to do some of his prep work for the day. He is wearing very little, just a very thin piece of material with various bones that have been sewn onto various places. A couple of feathers drenched in blood weaved into his hair. Before I go too far with you two, Arliss, what are you doing?
Oh, I was thinking about following them. I was considering it. I do have a certain kit with some certain objects that would allow me to look a little different. And I was thinking maybe, just maybe, I might try to...
Throws on a blonde wig.
See what... Well, it wouldn't be too much of a difference from my actual hair color.
No.
I have a black wig, thank you.
He has a small, hairy caterpillar companion who he puts on his mustache.
Could I try I'll try changing into some clothes with I think it's deception.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's say do deception.
And then a stealth behind them as well.
So what did you get on your deception?
Deception's a 23, stealth's an 18. I just want to see what they're up to. And I'm going to probably try and beat them back to when they head back.
Okay, so I'm going to say you're going to turn up roughly 5 minutes through because you need to get changed, make your way up there sneakily. But I will say you'll be able to make your way into the temple at least. And if you want to follow them further, we'll discuss that then.
Sure,
I don't know what these guys
listening.
are planning on doing. Yeah, that's fine. In a very hushed voice, so Orlis has to roll more. No, I'm joking. You see the priest performing blessings over his various ritual items. You can see that the door to his office is slightly ajar, and you can see a door on the other side where the Turtle Boys came in and out fairly often. That is also slightly ajar, and there is a flickering light inside there.
Oh boy. Greff's just kind of not exactly stomping, but he's in no way trying to hide his movement as he approaches the priest.
The priest, the father, finishes up blessing a cup of wine, and he places a cup of blood and places it down on the altar, and he turns to see the three of you, and his eyes immediately flick down to Arawn, and he raises an eyebrow. That he is gone.
It's a dangerous, thankless job we do.
Please bring him here.
Greff's gonna lay him gently on the altar.
As you do that, you can see he without very little regard for the fact that they are blessed items and some of them he shoves them all off the altar, so you can just put him down very easily. He's like, how long has he been gone?
What would we say?
Hour and a half, maybe?
Yeah, took us about an hour to... I would say nowhere more than 30 minutes.
Okay. You can see him beginning to lift up his hand and put his fingers underneath the metal work. And you can see he puts his fingers along more under his armpits and sort of base of his neck. You can see him preparing the body and moving out. It's what did he die of? Was it... And you can see he immediately comes across the wounds.
Greff looks him straight in the eyes and just goes, explosion.
Right. There appears to have been shot with arrow.
Explosion.
Greff. Not explosion. This one was shot by an arrow and fell from the air.
Greff, he's touching Arawn right now.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Greff's gonna grab, reach over, grab his hand and squeeze it and go, explosion.
What are you
As far
doing?
as everyone else, fine. But I cannot bring him back if you do not let
You're
me
not
do my
bringing
job.
him back.
Of course you brought him to the Temple of Lathander. Of course I'm going to bring him back.
No, blasphemy. The dead stay dead.
Blasphemy. My god is all about rebirth and bringing back to life. You think I'm just going to let him lay here? No. You brought him here, Greff.
I did not bring you here to defile him.
Then why did you bring him here?
Because we're not done.
Yes. You bring him here means he is not done. You have literally brought him into my church. The Church of Lathander. You think I'm not going to try and help him? Step away.
Greff steps back.
Do you have any objections? And he turns to look at Ivoris.
Ivoris looks kind of surprised. And he's kind of looking back and forth at Greff and the priest, and he shakes his head no and doesn't interfere. He kind of steps back. He doesn't want to get in between you guys. He's kind of neutral on this because he doesn't have any reason to not want to bring people back.
Now, I only have 2 of these gems. And I have 2 diamonds. Give me a moment. And he claps his hands very loudly. And you see one of the turtle boys just like racing across. The kid isn't wearing anything at all. You can see some of the paint on his underside from the previous rituals and ceremonies. You see them pop their head out and just like blink a couple of times. And very quickly in their native Aquan, he says something and he rushes off. And he begins to anoint Arawn's body with various oils and puts down various feathers and small bones. You see him ripping off his clothing and he just stands before you completely undressed. He's like, okay, I need something. I need something from one of you. Is one of you willing to do this with me?
Greff just folds his arms and stares at him.
What is your problem?
The dead stay dead. This is unnatural what you're doing.
You are his friends. I cannot make the sacrifice required to bring him back. I can open a doorway, I can get you onto the stalking plane to talk to him, but I cannot do this alone.
Why, Greff?
See the little turtle boy comes out, puts the diamond in his hand and rushes off. Him and his little brother are also just sort of like grabbing various bloods and placing them in intricate patterns around the body and around the altar. At this point, Aulus, you have definitely heard the shouting. Like from outside, you would have heard this fairly easily and slipped inside in all the commotion.
Greff does not look you in the eyes. He's just staring ahead at the priest and just like, it's not natural. It's not okay.
This isn't exactly necromancy.
It is.
It is giving life.
It's taking it back. The gods have claimed him.
I need you to leave my church.
Greff turns around and walks out.
Shit, Hollis.
Let's say you can dodge out of the way. I'll say when you're 18 and Greff is a little irate.
Easy.
The priest, the father turns to look at Ivoris.
Ivoris is clearly in a difficult position because he's kind of confused at Greff and doesn't want to hurt Greff. But at the same time, logically for Ivoris, like he's pretty neutral on it, but like he doesn't see the logic that Greff is seeing. And in Ivoris's eyes, specifically, this is why Ivoris is going to go ahead and help the man, is because Ivoris doesn't think he's going to get people that are going to listen to him again.
Oh.
And that happens pretty rarely. And Arawn asking Ivoris for help with something was personally like a big thing for Ivoris. So,
okay. Let me check the very specifics of the spell. How long it takes. I think it's an hour. Fucking hour. Jesus effing. All right. Whether Greff wants to walk back in, whether he just stays outside, whether Aulus goes back and hides in the carriage, whatever you two want to do, I'm going to say you're going to be able to do this. Ivoris is locked in and is not going to be able to step out of this.
Ooh, for an hour.
It's an hour. It's an hour cast.
Fuck.
Blood is cast on the ground. This is unlike any raised dead spell you've ever seen, if you've ever been a part of one. I will leave this up to you over here in Kino. Doesn't matter so much, but whatever. He chants a lot in his native, which is a kind of undercommon. It's not, again, because it's split by the continents, this is more like Discora undercommon than anything, Kino undercommon. He mixes in a variety of other languages like Celestial, and he calls out to Lathander many times. You feel almost riveted in place once you cross the circle and you are bound within it. They create an edge of bone, feathers, flesh, blood. As all of these things rise in the air and swirl around you, you feel a tug on the back of your navel, and you are pulled through to the stalking. The stalking plane has a weird sepia tone to it. Everything here seems to be moving very slowly. As you look around, you are in the temple itself, but you can't see much beyond the circle that has been drawn on the floor. You and the father are standing there. There is the dead body of Arawn. You can see the two turtle boys within the circle also, but they are moving exceptionally slowly. From behind them walks a very tall, towering figure. They have arms that seem unnaturally long. Their face is also very long, but it's skeletal. There's no flesh, there's no blood, there's no muscle. They're wearing a very long cloak, and they have horns that go straight up in the air. And as they enter the circle, they say,
"Go home. Arawn's spirit is not here for you."
Who are you?
They bow slightly.
I am Arawn's spectre, or at least I was. He has decided to stay on the stalking plane and become one of them.
And he throws his hand out in a direction, and you see a very small pool of light appear. And within that pool of light, you see that there is a creature with very, very long arms, almost like knitting needles, but they're a part of their bodies. You can see they also have fairly long legs. They have long, scraggly, whitish hair, and their jaws are quite long, with very sharp teeth. They have very bright eyes, and you can see their hair getting mixed up with their long arms kind of begins to make like a fabric or something, and then that fades out.
What is that? What did he choose?
He chose to take their deal, cursing his family, seeing them all dead within a year, to become one of those. Pixie of fate with him.
And if a skeletal creature could spit on the floor, it does so.
Go home.
The father reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder, and he mutters something quietly to himself, and the small hole that he made to get you guys through here, he pulls you back through, and you find yourselves back within the material plane, the stalking gone, the spectre gone, the weird pixies of fate weaving gone. Greff and Arliss, what were you doing for the last hour?
Arliss definitely apologized. He did not realize that this was someone of actual importance. He thought this was a grunt who died that they maybe kind of knew, not realizing the full gravity. So he's apologizing and trying to still proselytize his good word for our new friend and recruit him for the mission.
You still want that job?
With
Greff,
ridiculously high persuasion.
I know this is awkward. A bad time, probably.
Not making you roll persuasion against each other. I won't do it.
We do it.
No.
Persuade me
Greff.
with dice.
You find yourself outside the church. Arliss is by the carriage. Seemingly just stepped out. get some air.
Greff, like, he stares, like, through the world, like, for a good, 20 seconds, he's staring through the world. He's, like, his eyes are focused on something that's not there. And then he seems to, like, snap it back and sees that you're outside the carriage. He's like, what are you doing? Get the... And he starts, like, stomping towards you, like, get back in the carriage.
Fair enough. Would you join me?
Greff's gonna... Yeah. Greff gets in the back and, like, sits back.
I'm sorry, I did not realize that the dead one was actually someone near and dear to you. I thought it was hired hands.
We're all just hired hands. We stand together. We stick together.
I did not understand the bond was that close.
I don't know who you look at as your friends, but anybody who stands by my side and fights by my side is my friend. Well, not anybody, but I at least will miss them. Do you casually lose people in your fights? Do you not care?
I care a great deal. The issue is loyalty to someone you fight next to for no purpose seems alien to me. That is all. I say again, though, if you've had thought into this, fighting for money, there is always money somewhere, and there is always corruption somewhere. There are always poor leaders. But if you found yourself on a path towards something greater, I think that's more worthy of your time. I also have made mistakes and lost friends. In confidence, I can no longer commune with my God because of these mistakes that I have made. Some are aware of this. It is why I'm called the penitent sufferer. It is why I constantly and perpetually do the best I can to recover and one day speak to my God again once I've suffered enough. Made amends for my mistakes, but it doesn't need to be that way for everyone. And certainly there are good causes out there that would be more worthy of your time and causes worth fighting for instead of coin. Your friend died for coin. You could have become carpenters.
He didn't die for coin. He died for his friend.
But that's just my point. To what aim? His friends brought him into a battle of... Really, for all you could have known, you could have been fighting for a side of evil and not cared because they would have paid. Do I understand correctly?
No, you do not. We're not here because the initiative told us to kidnap you. How dumb are you?
Enlighten me.
We're here because Ivoris has a person he needs to meet. This person has wronged him deeply and heart. The only way for us to meet with this person again is to help you. Nobody's paying us. We're doing this because we're friends.
I stand corrected, and I apologize for my misjudgment. Who is this person you seek?
I think Greff kind of just clams up after this point and just goes like, it's not for me to speak. Ivoris is a close-guarded person, and I will respect his privacy.
I can respect that.
And I think you are forced to sit in silence, getting one-word answers here from out.
I just start going into the good word for the rest of it, even though he doesn't even respond.
The good word of your suffering God. Greff.
Yeah.
You can have an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Because your character grew and it's not sharing information. Wittingly or unwittingly. Give inspiration for that.
Thank you.
An hour rolls by. You two in the carriage hear a crack of thunder coming from within the temple. About 5 or 10 minutes later, Ivoris. Are you leaving? Are you talking with the father further?
I think there's a moment of silence. And then Ivoris offers to help pay for the spell.
He says, that has never happened before.
Yeah, I've never done that kind of thing, but it did seem odd.
I've had people say they don't want to come back before. I've had people desperate to return to their loved ones. I have never heard of any of them making deals with people within the stalking. That is... if you could see it within your means to replace the gem, that would be great. It is not easy for a church such as this to easily get hold of the diamonds needed for this.
Sure. I'm in between some money. I could give you a bit now, and then I could send you some. When I get,
He reaches out and he puts a hands over both of yours, so they're clasped within his, and he says, just send it whenever you are able. Don't skimp yourself now.
I'm okay now. I'm giving myself a safety net. Ivoris gives him 400 gold.
That is only 100 gold away from the 500 gold gem he needs.
Oh, I thought it was 1,000, but okay.
No, it's 500 for Race Dead. It's 1,000 if it's the bigger one.
Got you.
Or
okay.
5,000 for the big one.
Cool. Well, yeah. Ivoris can do that. He just wasn't ready to give 1,000. I'll pay him later. No. I'll give him whatever. I'll give him I'll give him a good 1,500. I'll give him a good little tip later. But right now, I don't want to.
Right now, just
I'll
give me
spend
400
half
gold.
my money right now, and I'll give him something. But yeah, 400 is cool.
Okay. He takes the 400 gold and he says, no, you keep hold of it until you have everything you need. And he wraps his hands or puts the gold back into your hands and says, you might need this. I still have one gem left in case it is needed. When you have it all, send it over when you are able.
Ivoris takes his hand and shakes it because he doesn't know how to do hand gestures to show appreciation very well, and so it's kind of weird. But yeah, he takes his hand and kind of shakes it and thanks him. He's very appreciative, and he leaves with intent to eventually give this man some money.
I am sorry. What? We will deal with the body best we can. Is there anything you know about him that whether he'd want to be burnt or buried or disposed of? That's a terrible word. A cleric would never use that word. To be buried at sea or in the land, cremated and given to the skies. Is there anything about him you know that he would want? From the little I know of him, I don't think he'd want any of his contraptions burnt, at least, or buried. Maybe he would, I don't know.
The auntie eat the dead. So I would ask my companion, who seems a bit more accustomed to these things. I'll come back and let you know.
I will. Me and the boys will pray him tonight and pop by at some point tomorrow. Don't stress your other companion. He seemed very agitated. Apologize for me for getting so angry and rude with him.
Ivoris nods. And
okay.
Yeah.
Make your way back to the happy little cart. Yeah.
That Tabaxi, the one that is thought that would get along well with Arawn, the one from here in town. Contact her and tell her.
Oh yes, Dalka. Of course.
She might be interested, and she might be interested in retrieving some of his things here. And I don't really think that. Well, I don't think he cares one way or another, but
I will see to it. I have an important question for y'all. Who has his guns?
I was about to say, I would
They're probably in
imagine
the
that
cart.
I was going to say Ivoris took it into the cart with him.
Yeah.
And I think around this time, Greff is playing with it.
Oh, God.
Not
Already.
pulling the trigger.
No.
Are you playing with the big gun or the handgun?
I'm assuming the handgun is still part of his hand, so I'm playing with the big gun.
All right, playing with the big gun.
Can I ask him a question?
When I
Was-
say play,
Yes, you can. You can ask him while he's playing. Let's say you guys start talking and Ivoris can turn up whether he wants to turn up. So
he's, by the way, not like spinning it around. He's like, he's holding it and like turning it over because he never was allowed to touch it before.
Are you familiar with Ogma?
Ogma. Yeah, god of knowledge.
Yes, I asked because you're holding
I
a
wrong?
gun, and I was hoping. I asked because you're holding an object that makes loud noises and can potentially cause great devastation.
Oh, yeah, no, this is, he didn't exactly pray to any of the gods, but, I'm assuming that if Arawn were to choose a god, it would have been Ogma. He actually did work on their, like, filing system for a while. Wonder if he finished the job.
Filing system? What type of filing system? This is fascinating.
It was very strange, and I can't answer you the questions. There were big levers, things moved, and he said, it doesn't look or sound good, let me fix it.
and on a side note, Greff also got thrown out of that church.
I feel like I'm
At this
missing something.
point, at this point, Ivoris turns up.
And I say very clearly when he walks in, but do you know of any relics of Ogma? Any primary ones that would be known throughout the land?
You need to do an insight. I need you to do an insight for me.
No, we
I just
don't.
need
In that case, I need you to roll a deception check.
No, we don't.
I just want to know how badly Greff fucks this up.
Ivoris, I also need you to take a deception check. Unless you're just like, the Relic of Ogma!
Me?
Yes, you. You've turned up at exactly the moment he has
Okay.
said this.
16.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, no. I got a 13.
16, 13, inside of 18. Yeah, you can see through them both. That phrasing, Ogma, sparks something in Greff. But maybe Greff just may know something about Ogma. When you mention Relic of Ogma, they know something.
So you've been staring at me, my devilishly good looks and my hair for a while, but you haven't said anything. Perhaps you could finish that thought out loud.
No.
Do you enjoy Ogma? Are you fans of Ogma, perhaps? You said your friend was almost a worshipper of Ogma, if he was religious, but he wasn't.
I thought we were under a time crunch, Greff says as he climbs out of the cart.
We are under a very
And he's
important time crunch.
And Greff is taking the gun with him and he's clicking it over his shoulder.
I look at the other one. I know you've had a rough day. I need you to answer this. It's very important for reasons. Very important. Do you have a relic of Ogma? And if so, do you know where the other next greatest relic would be?
They're in safe hands.
Both of them?
I don't know.
We need to know within the next few days. We're here now, but that very well could be our next target.
I know of one.
You need to know of two. Very quickly.
I think at this point, you can see Greff is like staring at you from outside the cart, and he just slowly goes like, where's Arawn?
He got shot and died, Greff. We'll talk later.
To the cliffs.
Iris is kind of avoiding eye contact. And he's not being a hostile or angry at you.
Yeah. Greff's doing as he told. He climbs on the cart and starts driving.
You get them to where are you going?
We're heading towards the cliff where the waterfall comes out.
Oh, so you're going into the cliff. You're going back to the school.
The thing, no. The thing he said was, what was the phrasing you used?
My very specific, very important instructions state very clearly that they are below Freedom's Bluff, below the cliffs, through the watery entrance. That's where
Through
we'll
the
find
watery
it.
entrance is definitely like on, the waterfall. There's water. Yeah, we jumped through waterfall to get there.
You think it's inside? It's the school itself, the bar.
It's probably the school itself, the bar.
Would you like to know what we're looking for?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's say which entrance are you using so we can have this conversation before you may or may not spend time doing this. Because his answers may change you and where you are may change what happens. So I just want to be prepared.
I would assume we're using the one behind the teleporter because if I remember correctly, that one was only half an hour or an hour.
It was like an hour, yeah. Hour and
which
something.
was by far the quickest one we found.
Okay. They take you up to a temple-looking place, but it's been run down. The walls are mostly not there anymore. There's a teleportation rune in the ground itself. This is where they take you. On top of here, if you look in one direction, you can see the sea. You are essentially right on that cliff edge. You can see the sea far below you. It's a good distance up. It's a lot of which height are we can't use Arawn's. It was Arawn's, wasn't it? Or was it Ivoris's here?
Ivoris and Greff are both super tall.
Yeah, okay, so it's a multitude of Greff's high. Hundreds of Greff's high. It's a fair distance. Well, this is where we find you guys. It's probably about 3-ish in the morning. There you go. The moon isn't really out because it's kind of disappearing. So waning.
So, do you have any interest in knowing what we're looking for?
Of course.
We seek something very, very important. If it's destroyed, I will kill you, personally. I just let you know this beforehand. It is of utmost importance, beyond even my own life, that we acquire these. What we seek are the bindings of Ilmater, the suffering god. It should look red. It's like a thing you wrap around your hands. I saw I pet him. I'm seeing the stunned face of this guy. Trying to explain it.
Yes, I will do my best to defend it. I need you alive and happy for us to complete our mission.
Ah, delightful. I don't like the idea of dying.
Me neither. Don't like being threatened either, but you can't always get what you want.
You threatened me first, so it was just, we're even now.
So Greff gets you to the teleport thingy, and you guys walk past the teleporter to one of the walls of the temple, and there Greff pats around until he finds a fake rock that reveals a hidden passageway.
Are there people in here?
There might be one very, very flamboyant goblin, and that's about it. Everybody else left yesterday.
Flamboyant goblin. Does she have a name or he have a name?
Jen Kisso.
Okay.
You should not... just don't be mean to them. They're really nice people.
I have no intention. Let us... sorry, I just need to know if I could walk in like myself.
You can be... let's just go.
Let's do this.
And Greff's gonna lead the way. Greff has both swords out as he moves. Now that he's assuming that we're probably gonna get into some kind of a fucking scuffle to get the fucking bindings of Ilmater. This raised the fucking stakes a little bit. I feel like you should have led with that.
He didn't trust you. So you spend a good hour or more making your way inside, making your way down various staircases, various corridors. You descend quite a distance. As the two of you have already been here, as you guys kind of approach the area where the barracks is, where the workshop that was being partially repaired is, where a bunch of other training rooms. So as you kind of reach this like back side of the bar, you hear someone's enjoying themselves in a nocturnal way. What do you guys want to do?
Now, Jan Kisso did have keys to the hotel.
Yes, but what's more romantic than behind a secret bar?
I mean, you're right, but like, I don't know. They were just partying, you know.
No, let's make.
It seemed like they might not want to make that long walk again.
If my bar hookup takes me down an alleyway, it freaks me out. If my bar hookup takes me down an hour-long corridor...
what the fuck, Jan Kisso? What kind of charisma roll is that? To just lead... What the fuck? That's why
you don't want to know his charisma rolls.
The fact that people can just kidnap people is the exact reason people are terrified of Ivoris, because he's a Yonti. You know, Jan Kisso is just charisma roll checking people down to Murder Town.
Maybe Jan Kisso has already hooked up with this person at least once. You don't really know. Jan Kisso has a checkered... No, they don't. They have an interesting... You don't know, but this is what you hear when you come down. You can make all the assumptions you want. Whatever, I don't care. Jan Kisso is enjoying life.
I'm assuming they're playing... Sorry, that game gets wild.
I was going to go with Twister.
You seem distracted. Both of you?
It's very evident to you as well. You can hear this. You just didn't know where you were.
I'm trying to like focus it out. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Just ignore it and be quiet. And Greff's going to try to lead them like a long way around. Like not.
This is the weirdest day for everyone involved.
Okay, so if you're trying to get to the bar area,
yes.
You have to go past the barracks. So, but thankfully for you guys, Jan Kisso is a little bit more preoccupied, so they don't notice you passing. Alice, you find yourself in a bar that has mostly been packed down. The alcohol has begun to be boxed up and put into crates. The tables and chairs are stacked as if they're about to leave. But what's most noticeable for you is right in front of you is a curtain of water. It's you're inside a waterfall, dude.
Have we passed the threshold, or is it the other side? I'm not really sure because we had a secret passage.
I don't know. Like, both sides are the other side. Like, let's just jump through and see if somebody's there.
Let's do it.
And Greff's going to lead the way.
Okay. For the one of you that hasn't done this before, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw, okay.
Yes, please.
Dex. Oops. No, I didn't. The first one was the real one. They're both really high, 20.
You see how Greff is jumping through. You probably calculate water is probably going to throw you off a little bit, so you give it that little extra oomph and you jump through the waterfall without so much as a worry or a fall on your face. You find yourself in a very big open area. I say open area is probably not correct. A very big cavern. It's set out to be a kind of a sparring area. The waterfall runs along this in a channel that time has dug for it, and it flows out of the front of the cliff, where you see it kind of basically flows out into the sea. There are a couple of passages around that go to other places, but they don't take you there. They just take you to this cavern. You can guys go right to the edge, and you can look down and see that a couple of 100 feet or whatever it is, you can see the sea and the rocks below. You can see the waterfall hitting the ocean. Out in the far distance, you can see a couple of ships on the sea. That's about it.
So this is where I would guess your little riddle would lead us?
Yes, the information was difficult to come by, so we will have to begin a search. I don't suggest we split up, unlike most conventional notions. We're probably better working together on this.
Okay. Do you have any idea who or what carries the string?
I might, with a knowledge religion. 16.
Not really.
No.
You didn't know these existed as an actual physical thing until you heard about it. You'd really have no idea what would stand between you and getting those bindings.
When you hear about these relics, you're not really sure if they're real sometimes, and you think, the bindings of Ilmater, that's something that's clearly not real in physical manifestation. But then you find out that there are other people who found other relics to, say, Ogma, and don't want to talk about them.
You can see the expression on their face.
Some people would like to use those relics to kill gods. So the safest hands are often the, ones that can't use the scroll. I don't know where I was going with that.
My hand is currently at its blade, for the first half of the sentence. And then when he says the safest hands, it goes away.
He's been very adamant about not killing the gods.
So I think we should just search around.
Certainly.
How do we know that you're not trying to get these things to kill Ilmater?
I look down at my chest.
His immaculate wooden armor, as is his shield, they all bear iconography of the suffering god. They all bear iconography of Ilmater.
I say, I am a penitent sufferer. My whole purpose of existence is to make penance to Ilmater so I can commune with my god again. I'm a paladin without a connection.
Only you know your experiences.
No, I'm pretty legendary.
Your trinkets and clothes mean nothing. I know of you in the initiative, not much more.
Well, unfortunate for you. I can tell you this. I'll give you this information. Is the object you hold a scroll to Ogma?
Take an insight check. And if you two want to hide it, take a deception check.
Yep. It's not my fault. I never meant to lie to anybody.
22. Greff.
19.
Greff, what is your shame?
Greff,
what is your shame?
My deception was a 10.
Yes.
It's not a big deal, guys.
As soon as you say, as you mention the word, is it a scroll? You look at Ivoris and there's nothing. There's nothing on his face. It is the stoic look of a man who may or may not be a Yuan-Tu. Tabaxi, cough, cough, cough. Tabaxi, cough. As you look at Greff, Greff's eyes go completely wide. It gives the game away. Just his pupils dilate, everything. It's just wait, what?
Is it with a goblin as we speak?
Yes.
I need you to take a deception check, dude. Come on.
What? Well, if you kill Jankisso, we're going to have problems. Don't kill Jankisso. But yeah, I am lying.
I need you to take an
lying,
insight.
of course.
Yes.
21.
That's a tall order for your insight, man.
I rolled a 10.
Yes, so far as you know, it's with a goblin.
Well, I regret to inform you, one of my objectives has me retrieving that scroll. And I need you to stop me from completing that objective. I cannot be allowed to return the scroll to Kells.
You were sent to find the scroll too.
I know where it is, and I'm going to get it, and it will be retrieved.
Do you know where it is?
I do. That is our next stop. Well, our second to next stop.
Okay.
Let's just get the strings, and then we can argue about who or what has the scroll. Or whatever you guys are talking about.
The short answer is you can trust me, and I believe I can trust you. Our aims are the same. We seek to save the gods.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, but we both work for the people that we shouldn't trust for that reason. You see how this gets difficult.
Alice smiles greatly. I work for many individuals. Okay. Here, very simply put, I work directly for Kells. Kells is the one trying to kill the gods.
Can I insight that?
Yes.
Yeah, same here.
10.
23.
On a 10, you're unsure. You're like, drow emotion. On a 23, you look past the beauty on his face and he is telling you the absolute truth.
Kels is...
You don't know who Kels is?
Have we heard of Kelsby?
You can both take history checks, but it's super easy.
I vaguely recognize mention, so I'm not actually too sure.
Oh, no.
8, yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, I need you both to tell me what your shames were for your history checks.
8
5.
is my shame.
8 and a 5 are your shames. You recognize the name. You've definitely 100% heard it.
Fuck you. Tell us what it is. Damn it.
Tell us.
That's me. Maybe?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Kels is very high in the government. I accidentally helped, Kels come into power. She is, in fact, a very powerful necromancer who aims to kill the gods one by one.
Great.
I work for Kels so that I can do the work for others and prevent this from coming to pass. I did not realize how grave the situation was until recently, when one deity was no longer around.
So you helped until it happened, and now you are suddenly surprised by your actions?
Incorrect. I am constantly gathering information, which is passed to other interested parties who are trying to prevent the same goals that we are. But this can't be done from a distance.
You are doing the same thing that we are doing with the initiative. You are playing the part for information to prevent them from getting things.
Who are your true masters, then?
We don't really have any.
Then join the assembly.
There it is. Okay. Can I insight?
What are you trying to insight?
Basically verifying that, yes, he is doing the same thing that we are by playing the necromancer in much the same way that we are playing.
Yes, just a straight insight then.
19.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make Iris feel comfortable. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You take him at his word.
How was Greff reacting?
Greff just kind of like, yeah. Basically, Greff has been assuming that he is a double agent. Aethor has been, and thusly Greff has been assuming since we met the guy that he's a weird double agent thingy that's going on. So Greff just kind of rolls his eyes when he's like, join the assembly, yeah! Like, just looks back at Ivoris.
Consider it then.
The assembly has someone who has done some harm.
Most collectives do.
Sure. This is personal to me, and I need that person to fix the trouble that their actions have caused. Until that is resolved, I am going to do things my own way. But I hope that one day we can talk about your intentions, the assembly's intentions, a bit more openly.
And hopefully that day will be soon. So let us find the cord, then we'll find the bindings, then we'll find the scroll, and I'll be on my way after reaching my contact.
You'll understand if we need to have a conversation before you leave with those items.
Of course.
Sure. Okay, then.
I hope we have many more conversations.
Right. Sure.
So what are you guys doing? How are you looking for what it is that you think you're looking for?
So currently we're looking for the string or the bindings?
Well, I got all my spell slots back. So I can locate objects.
Sure, click the button for me.
I can do one locate object. I've been holding off zone of truthing your ass for like, how long have we been recording? Because I wasn't sure if I would need another spell slot. Did I? I can't tell if did I locate an object already? No, I should have 2 slots.
You haven't since you have all your spell slots back.
Oh, I smited at 2nd level. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Then yes,
like,
that is my last.
you.
Yeah, that is my last 2nd level spell slot then. To locate object on some bindings of Ilmater.
All right, click the button. Are you doing this as a ritual?
No, I can do a spell. If we got 10 minutes, I can do a ritual. Because
You got time.
I don't know if we
it's only the fate of the world in hand.
V has been mean lately with killing people, and I just want to make sure I have a spell slot to go into this with, because we certainly aren't very well rested, and it's like 3 a.m. So I'll do it as a ritual. Sure. I'll take 10 minutes. Locate object.
I'll just be fake praying, looking around while I'm like supposed to be praying and trying to be like, do I see anything? No. Do I see?
Okay, I'll deal with you in a moment. Ivoris, I need you to do your thing. Oh shit, I need to bring up the thing.
Is it a D10? I got a 2.
The 3 of you feel this overwhelming change, a shift in the way that you talk. And it's almost as if for the next... Oh, I need to check how long this lasts.
Oh, Greff, aren't you charmed by Ivoris for some reason for his dumb magic too? I forgot about that.
Right. I take everything you say in the best possible way.
Yeah, you love him. You're charmed by him. All right,
I don't think that's still going. There's no way.
For the next 10 minutes, the 3 of you feel like you can't utter a lie. The zone of truth is cast in the area of Ivoris. He is the center of it. You 3 are all affected by this, and for the next 10 minutes, none of you can lie.
Is this not the most convenient spell to have happened after we talked?
This makes after you've talked. Yeah, this is like ultimate irony.
You hear a deep sigh from Ivoris.
Okay, Arliss, what is it that you were trying to do? I'm going to say this happens before the zone of truth because it happening afterwards is funnier. What is it that you were trying to do? You were just looking around for what? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I was just starting perceiving while kind of like half praying, but like looking like I'm really praying, but I'm really looking around.
So do you want to focus more on deception or perception?
Perception is more important. I don't care if they...
Okay. Yeah, roll a perception check, man.
They can make fun of my religion all they like. Perception, 14.
With a 14, as you look around, you can see there's a couple of routes into this room other than the waterfall. One of them looks like it comes from a very steep set of stairs. Looks like it's been traveled maybe fairly recently. You can also see that the waterfall comes into this room. So there must be an area just above the waterfall that you could probably get into. But otherwise, you don't see any other underwater secret entrances by looking at the where the water is flowing through this room, through the channel that nature has created for over the millennia. You don't see any entrances, really. You don't see anything like that here. Greff, is there anything you want to be doing for these 10 minutes?
Greff would be basically...
Is Greff holding the gun? Is he now holding onto it? Is that now his responsibility?
He strapped it across. Like, I'm assuming the gun has been kind of like rifled.
Okay, yeah.
I'm assuming Arawn was walking around with it like old musket style, like across his back.
He probably had some sort of gizmo where he attached it to somewhere, but...
Oh, right. Yeah, he has wings. He couldn't afford to have it across his back.
But no, let's say that it's fairly easy for you. Like during the time, you could have made a sling for it or whatever.
Yeah. So Greff's got it just slung across his back.
Yep.
And Greff is looking around for any changes to the environment since he was here last.
Make a perception check.
Boop. That's 23.
No change.
Nobody's been here.
All right. As you come to the idea, Nobody's been here. And as you come to the idea of like, oh, there's a place there and there's some staircases there, but that's about it. And as Ivoris finishes his spell, you all feel compelled to only be able to speak the truth. Locate objects within 1,000 feet. Yes. Yes, you locate it. Sort of.
Woo. Sort of woo.
Yeah.
That's always ominous.
Far, 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 far below you.
In the water?
Down.
Great.
So not in the water, far, far, far below you. You are in the cliff. It is far, 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 far below you. And if you were to hazard a guess and you looked at roughly sea level, it's probably just under that. And it's back a fair distance as well. So it's away from the cliff face, below the level of the sea.
I point at it and make everyone aware. It's there, below sea level.
Well, then we should begin moving.
Of course.
Meta talk, like, are we thinking that it's like we have to go where the water flows out of the cave, i.e. not the waterfall into the bar, but follow that water and it falls out of the cave? Are we thinking there might be a passageway underneath that waterfall too? Or are we assuming some of the tunnels take us there?
I don't know. Haven't been here before.
V, what would our characters assume?
You guys found like maybe one or two other tunnels that led you down, but it led you down to the place which you have recently just blown up. Mm-hmm. There were no other exits out of there, but you didn't see any other ways down.
Oh boy.
I mean, there are a couple of people that may know about it, but they're currently banging, so
no.
That's a questionable maybe. But there are other people in town that you've sought out to give you information about things that maybe you could speak to. Other than that, you could always jump off of the cliff and have a look under the waterfall.
Well, whoever we ask, they can't lie, so...
No.
10 minutes.
You guys can't lie.
It's a radius of me.
Yeah, but it's 10 minutes, dude. You're not getting back to the surface in 10 minutes.
Oh, no, but like Jan Kisso. And Jan Kisso's goblin friend.
You could go interrupt him and his partner. Yeah. Uh-huh. That could be exceptionally awkward.
How many feet up are we? From water level?
Significant feet up.
But under 1,000.
Why?
Under 1,000.
We're under 1,000, yeah.
I might have climbing gear.
If you're talking about rope, it's definitely more than 50 feet.
Deep down in the cliff, maybe old tunnels, an old mine, maybe. Like the place where the robot blew up. That's it's far above where I'm assuming this is.
Here's my question, V.
Yeah.
Think very carefully about your answer to my question. I cast a 10-minute ritual. Is he still banging, or can I knock?
Bring me some dice.
He needs to roll a constitution check every 3 minutes.
I feel so uncomfortable before you ask me that question.
We need information, V. The people I need to talk to. V. I'm not the one in a hurry, V.
That's a respectable amount of time. Yes, it took you 10 minutes to cast this, probably after like 5 or 10 minutes of talking.
And in his defense, we don't know how long they were going before, so this isn't like he didn't last long. Like, come on.
Yep. Yep.
I just want to know if
This
they're
isn't a
done.
judgment of his
We're
performance.
not judging here. I just want to know if
Judgment-free zone.
if the time to ask
Let's say
questions
with like
is
maybe 3 or minutes so left on your thing, you hear them go quiet.
You're not a judgment paladin, are you?
No.
Okay.
Paladin at all.
I'm barely a paladin at all.
I know that feeling.
Yes, you have about 3 minutes left on your zone of truth, and you can probably go knock. Do you want to go knock straight away?
I want to make it seem like I don't know what's going on. Anyone in there? Or not? Hello? Hello? Anyone in there? I checked the hotel. I couldn't find anyone in here.
Oh, just open the room, darling, I say.
Oh, hang on a minute. A little busy.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
And you hear him like muttering something very quietly. They open the door and you see that they've got like a bed sheet wrapped around their waist. You can see like the hair on their
They're
chest.
wearing like silken like robes.
They've just had sex. If they're still wearing clothes, it was not good sex. I would not letting that happen to him.
It's like those like gaudy like silk robe thingies that like are super shiny.
He's wearing a
and ugly.
kimono.
Okay, no, okay. He's wearing
Okay,
a bed
all
sheet.
right, I'll take the kimono.
No,
It's very good style.
All right,
Very
so
relaxed.
barely pulling on the kimono and barely hiding everything he may or may not have. Like his bare, his hairy chest on show. You can see the makeup has like run a little bit and smudged. And he's like, "Yes, darling, I'm a little busy right now."
Oh, sorry. We need to find a thing. Do you know of anything how to get down there? There's something magical down there we need to get. Do you know how to get down there? We need someone that knows how to get down there.
I move
And
his
he's pointing.
hand away from pointing like in anywhere that could be construed as his crotch. Because he's pointing straight down and like the camera, and no one can see this.
there's something magical down there. We need somebody to get down there.
I don't quite know what you're insinuating, Ivoris.
He's being really bad at this. There's a cavern or tunnel or something way far down below in the cliffside. We need to get there. Do you know if
Could
there's...
this possibly wait until tomorrow? I was
Actually, it
right in the
can't.
middle of something, guys.
It genuinely can't.
We're actually not being the impatient ones
Take
on
a-
this, surprisingly.
Take a persuasion check, Greff.
You hobgoblin.
Stop it. He's not a hobgoblin.
No, it's a performance. No, persuasion. It got worse. That's a 7.
Your shame this time was a 7. And Jankiso kind of like puffs his chest up a little bit and stands a little taller, pulling the kimono a little bit tighter around them and say, "Well, no, I think this will have to wait until tomorrow. I'm somewhat busy. I'm very tired, a little bit drunk.
I step in the way.
Good night, gentlemen."
Allah steps in the way
Oh,
and
who's this chop of tall and handsome? Hello.
pulls out 5 gold. I'll give you 5 gold. We just need a guide.
A guide? Honey, darling, sweetheart, as beautiful as you look. My.
I bat eyelashes.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Do you know how to get down there? Just tell us how to get down there and we'll be on our way.
Darling, I don't actually know what you're talking about.
Further down into the cliffs. Do you not know of a way down?
Well, no, I think you all just blew one up recently, right?
What?
The only way into down, I know you. There was a room, and there was an explosion. There was a whole thing about it. And then you see them look from left to right. Where's Arawn? And you see them pull the door kind of closed behind them as they realize this conversation is getting out of hand.
Don't worry about that right now.
Well, okay then. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah. The cliffs. You don't know how to get further down into the cliffs from here.
If there was a place further down, I don't know how to access them from here. I mean, one could always jump into the sea and have a look. Is it that far down? How do you know there is somewhere down here?
Magic.
Oh, of course.
Magic, yeah.
Oh, but Greff, you don't have magic. And you see them like reach up and kind of like pinch your cheek a little bit.
All right.
Yes,
thank
I
you.
don't have magic.
Thank you for your help anyways.
Can I go back to,
Yeah, good night.
good night?
Yeah.
How long are you guys going at it?
You see them like give you the hardest stare. And then they sort of like turn their back to you and they go to open the door. But as they do, you see them like look back up at Arliss and it's like, well, if you ever need to find someone to help you unwind, serve you a good drink, I'll be at a place called what was it, Greff? Leaky Bucket? You can catch me there, darling. Somewhere in Shilvana.
I wink back. Perhaps some other time.
Two lils. Mm-hmm. Ooh, exciting. And you hear them close the door.
Okay.
I've now been twice propositioned today.
Wonderful. How do we go? But do you think? Okay, did we see a place that looked like it could have gone further down that we didn't explore on our way through?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, so this would have to be a new entrance to somewhere. Can we spot it around here? A new door, place we haven't been, some hidden door or anything?
Even if you guys spent like an hour or more, even like somehow you guys managed to clamber your way up inside the waterfall in which you guys, which is flowing into the arena, you can see it's just a large empty space. There's evidence that people may have slept here at one point, but that was like way back into the day. There really is no entrances or exits that you guys haven't explored before, and nothing that you have explored before would lead you further down.
Are there any waterfalls and cliffs that we don't, that like we're not at that we know of?
That's an oddly phrased question, but I think I know what you're talking about. As you kind of like stick your head out of as you guys stick your head out of the thing to say, hey, maybe there's more waterfalls. There aren't. This is the only sort of waterfall that's coming out of the cliff itself.
Okay, so we need to go down to the base of this waterfall.
I am assuming that there might be some kind of underwater cavern system or something underneath this waterfall.
Okay, do we just ride the waterfall? Is there a better way?
No. I may have almost accidentally thrown me and Shadowfist off the edge of this waterfall, but I have no intention of doing it intentionally.
Man, so how many hit points does Greff have? Is he looking okay?
I look mostly okay. I'm at 36 out of 49.
Okay, you're close to me. Okay.
We'll just climb around. We'll get back to town. We'll get to the basin of this waterfall. We can search around there.
Sure.
I'm going to put it out there. It's probably about 5-ish in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning. You guys can see the sun coming out in the far distance. It's been like a whole night. You guys are pretty tired.
We are so close. Is there any way we could just climb down, perhaps? Do you think you could climb down or get me back out if I could climb down?
You can climb down if you want. Why do you need this now?
There's a timeline, and
how strict of a timeline?
Ogma perhaps has a few days.
A few days?
And then Lyra is set after that, then Lathander, then Ilmater. I know that order is skewed, but to pick up here, we can stop and prevent the death of Ilmater, and it's on the way to preventing the death of Ogma.
It sounds like we have time to take a rest. Perhaps.
I slept in the carriage, I suppose, but...
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, if we need to, I will endure this rest. I'm not one for the sun.
If we continue, we will be a little bit less useful.
Fair enough.
As you talk about not liking the sun and double checking your information is correct, as the sun peeks into the cavern that you guys are standing in, Ivoris, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Why?
What are you doing to us?
Ivoris. I'm doing this to Ivoris.
Where did
I'm
we
asking
go?
Ivoris what he's doing to
Where
us.
did we go that
He's
this
not doing
happened, V?
anything. You're just standing there, okay?
Why
You're
is
just
this
standing
happening,
there.
V?
The sun is rising on...
If I die,
on
we
The
mad.
sun is rising on day 32, so fuck you.
How could this happen to me?
Things are just happening at you, okay?
Well, it's a 9, so does that... How's that?
As you stand there, you feel the symbol which has fused into your eye socket glow. You feel this warmth spread very quickly through your bloodstream. And a moment later, the two of you standing near him see him flash a bright white, almost radiant light. But he is thrown back 50 feet and lands square on his face. And he is unconscious for 1 hour.
What did I do, V?
I don't know.
Greff runs
What did you do?
Greff runs over to Ivoris like, Ivoris! And if you approach us, the swords come out like, no, you stand back, holy man.
I'm just trying to look for an attacker because I'm confused what happened.
I am too.
Like blade out, ready to defend.
Okay, I approve of that.
You're unconscious. Be quiet. You go to shake him awake, but he does not rouse.
I can't find any attacker.
Can I make a roll for Greff? Because I think Aether knows what just happened, but Greff might not. It definitely doesn't.
Argue a stat with me because I think I know what you're rolling.
All right, I want to roll. Let me look over my things real fucking quick. Boop. That's an 18 on a perception.
On your perception, you have seen this exact thing happen before, except last time you were the one who managed to catch Adanilov when she fell. You saw this happen when Savras died.
Yeah. Greff looks down at you and down at Ivoris and then looks back up, but I have your name written down. Alice.
Yeah.
Alice. Wait. This happened when something very similar to this happened when Savras died.
I attempt to knowledge Arcana with no chance whatsoever, or religion.
It would be Arcana or religion.
They're both the same. I got a 12. I just kind of think I probably have no idea what's happening.
It probably has something to do with Savras, but you don't know what.
It probably has something to do with Savras, not an additional death of an additional deity. I would like to think I'm in the know on that front.
Let's just get him to bed.
Certainly. I'll let you carry him.
Our search has stopped for now.
So it shall be. Lead on.
Okay. Pick him up.
Greff picks him up, and the barracks are just one closed-off room.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Jen Kisso. You're not being helpful. You're being especially sassy earlier.
Being that it has been some time, they have fallen asleep. You see two shapes sharing one bed. And you lay Ivoris down.
Greff's gonna,
Now there are 3 shapes sharing one bed.
No, there are not. Stop it.
We had the time. We didn't have to leave. We're just going to long rest anyway.
Let's all just cuddle.
Yeah,
Snuggle.
Greff places Ivoris in his bed and starts taking off his armor. Greff is not going to lie down in one of the beds. He's going to take, kind of post next to Ivoris.
Yeah. You could easily find a chair and bring it up nearby.
Yeah. And the intention is for at least Greff to take a short rest. He doesn't need a long rest, really.
Okay.
But to stay kind of vigilant and basically guard Ivoris. Something just fucking knocked him out.
If you go for one more night without sleep, you will have to take a level of exhaustion.
Agreed.
Okay. About an hour later, Arliss?
Arliss has taken off his armor, and he still has his sword at his hip. But he's going to look around the area and see if he can find anything that could be used for climbing and just sort of scour the immediate couple buildings or...
Yeah, you could... Yeah, kind of like meandering around this kind of as you've heard them maybe once at the school. You find that you could find ropes and climbing gear, and you can find additional ways of making rope or tying bed sheets together. Yeah, there's plenty of climbing gear that you could assemble or makeshift make.
He does that for about an hour,
area.
also stealing one of the makeshift and let's call it an astray brew, missing inventory.
Not a problem.
He'll liberate the missing inventory and crack it when he returns it, so it looks like the contents may be spilled, and actually genuinely spill a little bit of them.
Perfect. Yes, you can absolutely steal a beer. Or wine, whatever it is your characters, or water, whatever it is they're into. You're missing out. Junkiso makes fantastic cocktails. About an hour after you start your short rest, so you have your short rest 1 hour, Ivoris wakes up. You feel really good.
Well, that's unexpected because you knocked me out and was rude. So I was thinking this was a main thing that you were doing. But
you feel super good. You wake up, and for the briefest moments, you maybe forget Savras is gone. His aura, his touch, his feel of him being around you, that divine presence. You feel something there. It's not Savras, but you feel something there. You feel like something in the world has been healed, patched over, sealed. You genuinely feel a better connection with your magic.
I test it by reaching over and giving Greff lay on hands. What, does lay on hands activate it?
Nope.
Fuck. Well, are we about to sleep?
Killings.
I just took a short rest, so I'm about to pop all my hit die.
I'll do protection from evil and good on Greff.
Okay. You reach out, and the well of divine magic that you tap into creates a shimmering field around Greff, protecting him from good and evil, or evil and good, whichever way around it is.
Greff kind of jumps at you, casting a spell randomly, and tells you, he's like, "Oh, you're awake."
Absolutely no side effects happen.
Huh.
For those in the know, it is day 32. What happened on day 32? We sealed the portal.
We sealed the portal and
Yes, you did. The portal of Savras. So, you have your magic back without no longer having to roll any insanity things, which drove me up the wall. None of that ever has to ever happen again.
So good.
And I am super happy about this. So good. So good.
Oh, but I miss my kobold friend.
You will miss your kobold friend, but maybe you'll meet him again in another way.
I hope so. Ivoris looks kind of relieved. Well, my magic is fixed.
Oh. Wait. Does that mean Savras is back?
No.
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
I don't know how it's working like it is, but something happened and everything seems fine with it now.
All right. Well, just lie back down, and Greff kind of pushes you either back down or back onto the bedding.
Because we used hit dice already, didn't we? Did we? We didn't.
I don't remember. But either way, if you guys take a long rest now, you can get all that stuff back.
Okay, we'll just take a long rest.
Okay, I'm going to say that you two take your long rest. Whilst the long rest is happening, I would like Aulus to tell me what he is doing, and we will do the rolling associated with what I think you want to be doing.
Aulus is going to look at the two huddled figures and kind of just longingly no, I don't have time. And then leave. And then
the two under the same cover, or the two that are next to each other but not under the same bit? Okay.
Yeah,
right, the two goblins.
The two that look more affectionate with each other. and I'll depart.
Yeah, the 2 goblins. Okay.
I'll set up a rope / bedsheet / whatever system to basically make it so when they wake up, all we have to do is descend. Be super easy. He'll get a 4-hour meditation in there somewhere. And then maybe at one point he's just going to test all the way to the bottom until just he has it, like literally just taking the sheets and seeing how far he can get just to see what's down there, and like literally poking his head, coming back up.
Yeah, so you could. There's a fair amount of rope here, and between the rope and the makeshift bed sheets, which you kind of double up to make sure, all the good stuff, and you hammer all the correct things in all the right places so that you'll be safe on the way down. You can make it down to the water, absolutely no problem at all. Do you want to go into the water and see if you can find the entrance?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a scout thing. They need to sleep for 8 hours. I only need 4.
I need to know. Well, okay, so Travis, here's the thing with long rest, elves, drows, and all those weird people who do meditation-y things. You still have to be doing light duties for 8 hours. Yes, you can meditate for 4, but you still have to take it easy for the other 4.
Gotcha. So no,
You did sleep last night, so you can go a day and a night without sleeping.
Yeah, I'll
it just
I'll
means
risk
next time the long rest comes up, you'll have to take it.
I'll scout it very quickly.
Okay, I need to know what your constitution is, my friend.
My constitution
Yes, please.
is 12.
Okay. Suffocating. A creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus the con modifier. When out of breath, you can survive for a number of rounds equal to its con mod. So your con modifier is 1.
Mm-hmm.
You can hold your breath for 2 minutes.
I'll just be
and
super,
then you will suffocate
super
in 1
safe
round.
with all of my decisions.
So you're going to swim down for a minute and then swim back up again?
Yeah, that's the most. Maybe not even a minute. Just kind of like 1 direction, 2 direction, just kind of all 8. Figure out which ways to go.
Okay. You dive down and your first direction is like almost straight in front of you because that would be the most obvious.
Yeah.
It takes you a minute. You swim back up, you swim back down and look a little bit to one side and then you see it. There is a passage pretty far down, maybe another 2 or 3 rounds, and you'd get to that entrance. So
I don't want to do it without him. I really don't feel comfortable. So yeah, I'll venture back up, but now I know where it is.
Yes,
And then
you know its entrance. You know nothing more than there is an entrance to an underground complex somewhere below this waterfall.
Hey, I'm Alice, and I've got some new grumpy companions in this episode, but the goblins seem like they could be quite a lot of fun. If you're interested in hearing more of my voice, you can check out podcasts by Fool and Scholar Productions, like Dark Dice or The White Vault. Dun dun dun. But seriously, thank you again for listening, and we will catch you later. Imagine what your ideas can do. Oh, we're not doing that anymore? Okay, got it.